Hi, this is Tyler with Harvest My Garden. In this video I'm going to show you 4 tips for creating a killer personal profile and garden store on Harvest My Garden. First tip will be the use of photos. The second will be the use of your bio. The third will be your garden description, and the fourth will be your produce description. So first off, I want to look at a good example of the use of photos and description. So here we have Catherine Lois Garden, and she has 2 items, tomatoes and carrots, and they all have pictures. So if I click on Catherine Lois there, you're gonna see she has several things that are going for her. One is she has a photo of herself. Number 2, there's a picture of her home garden, which is shown there in the upper left. And then each one of the produce items in her garden have a picture that she has taken and posted. So she also has, you'll notice, a profile there of herself, lover of garden fresh fruits and veggies. And then you can look further on at her long profile, and she talks a little bit more about herself and how she came to enjoy gardening the way she does. So if I now go back to the map by clicking the Harvest My Garden icon there at the top, I click the little button here in the lower right hand corner to get the map centered back to where I am, and I want to take a look at my garden, or the one I'm going to be updating. So this is the Tyler Williams garden. So you'll see right off the bat there's no images, just the Harvest My Garden logo, which indicates that the user has not uploaded any personal pictures. So again, there's 3 places where a picture could be located, but none of them are in there. When I click on profile, I show Tyler Williams, no review, there's no description. So we want to help you get noticed. So in order to do that, we need to add some photos and a good bio and garden and produce description. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click the little avatar next to the Harvest My Garden logo, and we want to go to profile. So the first thing we need to do is we need to add a short bio. Okay, so I'm an engineer by training and a gardener by choice. The long description might say something a little more in depth about me and why I'm growing. Okay, so got a little bio there about myself, and then I want to add an image. So one of the easiest things to do if you don't have an image is to just take a picture. So I'm going to go ahead and take a picture, reverse my camera, and there I am. Cheese! And I'll use the photo. So now when I hit update profile, several things are going to happen. The first one I want you to pay attention to is the little avatar next to the Harvest My Garden icon is going to change. When I click the Harvest My Garden icon and go back to the map, you're now going to see that avatar is gone and my picture is sitting right there. So it's important to know that that picture right there is going to be the lead picture that other users are going to see when they're using Harvest My Garden. So it's important to get that picture right. Okay, the next thing I want you to pay attention to is that we updated the picture there, and now it's also down here in the quick view where it says Tyler Williams Garden, so you can see my picture is right there. So now we still have broccoli produce that is being represented by the Harvest My Garden V. And if I click on that name, you can see I have 2 locations, the garden as well as the broccoli that have the Harvest My Garden V's, and I want to get rid of those and put my own personal pictures in there. So I'm going to go back to that profile, click my image next to the Harvest My Garden icon, and then go to garden/advertisements. So in this case, I'm going to choose view, and when I click view, I'm going to see the garden and the produce that's inside that garden that is for sale. And so in this case, that's the garden. So I want to edit that garden. So the garden, you know, might want to be a little more creative than just garden, say my wonderful garden or whatever works for you. And then in the long description, here's a place where you might want to describe your garden. Talk about what you put on your plants, how you take care of your garden. People are looking for organic produce and they want things that are healthy. So communicate in here what things you're doing to grow healthy produce, to add diversity to your local area or into your garden, or what are your things you're doing to maybe organically scare away any bugs or things like that that might be damaging to your food. So those are some things that I would type into this area. Okay, So now that we've typed in a little bit of a garden description here, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down towards the bottom and add an image of my garden. So I'm going to just, in this case, choose from the photo library a picture, and I'm going to go ahead and add, I think here's a good picture of my garden. So I'll click done. It's got a little chicken coop in the background. And if I now hit update garden, you'll see now that I have an image of my garden. So if I go back to the Harvest My Garden map, clicking the Harvest My Garden logo there, and I go back to my broccoli here, you'll see that I now have a picture of myself and a picture of my garden. So the one thing I want to do next is I want to change that V under produce from the Harvest My Garden logo to my own. So again, going back to the profile there and choose gardens, and you'll see I have my wonderful garden, which I named it. I'm going to view that, and now I'm going to see the produce that I have for sale, or that it's at least listed in my garden, even though it's currently, if it's not currently available for purchase, as this one is not, I can start listing those here. So the broccoli that I have, I think I could give a little bit better description to it. Okay, good enough. And then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and what I want to do is add a photo now. So I'm going to click add image, and I'm going to choose the file from the photo library, and then here is a picture, a recent picture holding the broccoli, and I'm going to go ahead and do a smaller picture. I don't need a big picture, and done. Just one is all I need to show, and I'm going to click update produce. So now you'll see after this finishes processing, if I go back to the Harvest My Garden map, you're going to see that that broccoli that I had now has a picture in the lower quick view window. And so if I click on the Tyler Williams there, you can see now I have my own profile picture, I have a garden picture, and I have the broccoli there. So you can see now I'm starting to add a little bit more information. So now here I can see the broccoli that I have chosen to grow. I've got a description in there, right? I can grow buckets of this stuff. I don't have to put any chemicals on it. It's the only veggie my children will eat. So again, those things that we talked about were, first is using photos to communicate what it is you're growing within your garden and to tell a little bit about you as well as the produce you're growing. And then also the bio of yourself. Tell us a little bit more about you and why you're growing. It helps build confidence with the people you're talking with as to why you are growing, and it also attracts people to you. If you're growing stuff and you're expert at something, I may want to come to you simply because of your experience. Maybe you have some recipes or some experience with some produce and even how to grow it, and I can get some tips and stuff from you in addition to buying your produce. And then of course the garden description. You want to describe your garden. Indicate what kind of soils and fertilizers you might be using or have. Are you using all natural? Do you have an organic certification if you're a larger farm maybe? Are you growing in greenhouses? Is this just a backyard garden, or is it a farm? Make sure you paint a picture of who you are for your potential customers. And then the last thing there is a produce description, right? Local growers can grow produce based on flavor and quality that is far above anything you can get in a store. So be sure to include details in there as the types and the varieties of what you're growing, or any tips on how you use the produce that you're selling. So these are just a few things, again, that will help you to be more successful in using the Harvest My Garden app and communicating to others the value that you have to offer them. I hope these 4 tips we've shown you for creating a killer personal profile and garden store on Harvest My Garden will help you as you sell your garden fresh produce to people around you who are also lovers of local garden fresh produce. I hope to see you on Harvest My Garden and maybe buy some fresh local produce from you. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to give us an email or comment down below. If you have interest in other videos, please let us know and we will produce those for you as well.